Subscribe. I'm the only person talking about the OTC and Pink Sheets exclusively. Okay, y'all. Today we are talking about Max Sound and Greg Halpern's Greatest Scams Part 2. Now, first, I do want to congratulate Greg on this year's stock performance. There you go. Off what, 85 to 95% for the year. Nice job, Greg. And this is the guy that said things could not be positioned better entering into 2022. Yeah, okay. And here's a posting from one of his aliases. If you go look at that website, I mean, it's obviously not made in Asia. It's such a joke. It is on an American platform, and the whole thing is just him setting the whole thing up. Do want to point out before we go into the video here, a posting from Jay Galt. For the record, John Blazer was terminated because he refused to sign a 10K until what he considered to be fraudulent numbers were removed. JB had requested these changes in the past. Greg Halpern refused to make the changes. JB refused to sign the form and was terminated immediately for that reason. That is the cause JB was terminated for. The corresponding email from Halpern the next day stated JB was terminated for slander, libel, misrepresentation to shareholders and professionals, which is the excuse Halpern used to cover up for issues concerning the 10K filing. It's sad that Halpern then, says all those things about John, which are just completely untrue. Did want to point that out because it's part of the course, because this is Greg Halpern, this is how we operate. So here we go. 10 years ago, Greg Halpern was involved in another company called Circle Group Holding, and they owned a company which owned the rights to this product called Z-Trim, which is this fat replacement thing. And here, Greg Halpern was involved in, hey, maybe another pump and dump. Yep. So the co-defendants here, were on an email list when they purchased Circle Group stock. Through the email list, he frequently got emails from Circle Group, specifically from Chief Executive Officer Gregory Halpern. The emails contain information concerning Circle Group's business endeavors, including information supposedly that had not been announced to the public. Sound like 50 deals in 50 weeks to you? Anyway, so, see, last year we didn't know when the dump was. Greg should have just told us, but he was selling stock all along because and he lied about the stock being shorted. It wasn't being shorted. You can't short a sub-penny stock. You cannot do it. The collateral you'd have to put up would be enormous, and it wouldn't be worth it. So nobody does it. Greg was just lying about that and misrepresenting that because he was the one through his proxies selling the stock. So the contents of the emails caused both current and new investors to buy stock in the company, which led to an increase in the price of Circle Group stock. Failing to profit from business endeavors, the company subsisted solely on the revenue from the sale of its stock. You gotta stop me if this sounds familiar. Halpern, through a series of misrepresentations, induced to purchase Circle Group stock. The other directors, officers, and company knew or had reason to know that Halpern misrepresented the status of the business in order to induce investors to purchase the stock. So he ended up entering into 3 option agreements and whatnot, and Halpern represented that they were exercisable, but they were restricted. And so then he wasn't able to sell the stock, but I'm sure insiders were. So this is, I can go into more of this. I'll leave the link in the description and whatnot. But so this is, kind of how Greg works. So don't expect any revenue or product until Greg is out, because he's not doing anything. And this is how he operates. He runs pump and dump schemes. This company, though, is not a pump and dump, because I do believe in the technology, and I do believe that people can come in and make it profit from it, the marketability of the technologies. Greg can't do it because he wants side deals on every contract, and these businesses are legitimate. They're not going to do a business deal that is going to blow up in their face years later through some derivative lawsuit. This video is for entertainment purposes only. I am not a registered financial advisor, and none of the content here should be construed as financial advice or an offer or solicitation for securities.